before we took the break, I feel like I've, gotten the bus off track, so to speak. We've kind of been all over the road today,
Yeah, we got a lot of education to talk about.
We do, but let's reel it back in. Let's get back onto the road.
Now we're here. This way?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're reeling it back. So today's show with Teach on the Beach is about the training and how it can get you to teach from the beach. Right?
Yeah.
And so you've given us some topic ideas of being a proctor. You can do that. You can become a NAR instructor.
Correct.
What was our other thing?
You can be an instructor without being a NAR certified instructor.
Okay.
So you could teach webinars if you have a subject matter. So that's one way that you could do that.
Teaching. Yeah. And there was something else though. Didn't you hit something earlier?
I talked about instructors and certifying proctors, and you talked about NAR.
Right.
You want something else?
Yeah, what was there something? I feel like there was something else that we
were talking about avatars.
Yeah, avatars, right.
And so avatars can teach as well. Right. They don't gain weight, they eat as many donuts as they want, and they don't wear pants.
That's right.
So that's
our recap for the show. Yeah. That's been great. Thanks for tuning in.
So that's one way, of course, of with training. But if there are people who are looking to maybe get training to be investors or get training to get into real estate, to maybe do what you do and work with buyers or work with sellers. There's a different type of training for that. There are trainings for brokers to bring take their business online so they can manage their brokerage from the cloud. There are all kinds of trainings that are out there. Trainings on how to get leads and lead generation and leadership training and you name it, there's a training for it.
Amen. Come on. Yeah. It exists in real estate.
Plate.
No kidding. I'm like, really? I think there's probably a training class on how to be a training class. Wouldn't you agree?
No, Christy. Okay. But there is a training class.
I think there would be. Yeah.
As a trainer.
Right.
So
train the trainer in a training class.
Yeah.
Pantless. Right.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So you've got that going on. And so for folks who are looking at maybe getting additional training and finding opportunities for training, they can always, of course, go into our site.
Right.
Or go and find us on Facebook.
Right.
Real Estate Matters with Tamika Bryant and Christy Porter. You can find us there.
Right.
Or you can go to KC Training Partners, which is also a training site, or the real estate house, trey-academy.com. So we've got lots of ways that people can find out about classes online or via webinar, or just coming into a training center themselves. Some people would prefer to be one-on-one with an instructor and not online. So I love the one-on-one classroom, as you know.
Yes.
I love that space. And so
have you done a webinar yet? Have you taught a webinar?
I've taught a webinar. Okay. I've got one actually scheduled coming up. I do a couple per month on different types of classes, but I even do trainings at employers' offices.
I know. That's what we're going to talk about next.
Yeah.
Not this show, but next show.
Yeah,
I love that.
No problem.
Because one thing that I was thinking about with your training, when you were saying that on the difference between virtual training versus in-person training, what do you like best about being a webinar instructor? Because you can't see me, right?
Yeah, in some of the webinar applications, I can see you.
Okay.
But it's more online. I can reach more people.
Okay.
So people don't have to wait or come or have the expense of coming to a class way across the country, or if I'm not going to do a class or they missed a class.
Right.
So you have more access to people.
So virtual, you're more exposure.
Yeah, you have more exposure.
Maybe we shouldn't say exposure on this show because we've been pantless for a while. That might not be a good terminology.
You're going to get written up. And
I know.
Somebody's going to pull
saying.
this show.
We're going to be like, exposure, pantless. What are they talking about? So let's say, so you're reaching more, larger audience.
Larger audience on their time. And they don't have to leave their office or their home. So it's more convenient.
Pantless, right? Let's
be honest.
No, I'm just kidding.
So it's more convenient for people.
Right.
And
so convenience.
And
larger amount of people.
Larger access to more folks.
Okay. Versus in the classroom. See, because I've done like virtual online classes and then I've done in person. And I've just realized I really feed off of other questions and people and that energy that's in the classroom. You know? I know, it's shocking, right? But if you're online, it's just not as interactive because, I can't hear your voice and your tonality. Not you, the instructor, but the other people. And, you just read their question.
Right.
What did you just say? It's like...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a different vibe.
Prefer that. So it just is all on each person. But yeah, the classroom, there's lots more going on, but it's more expensive for the instructor or the person who's sometimes putting it on because of travel time and everything else. And so for people who are taking a 3-hour class, for example, that may turn into a 5-hour day for them for travel time travel time back, lunch break, all those kinds of things. So you've got to look at that in the bigger scheme of things.
Mary saying hi.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary. Hi. Yeah. Oh, that's the 5-minute. Okay. I thought it was a hi. Hi. Right. Well, because I've been in classes before, and I'm like, where are you from? Salina.
Yeah.
I mean, from Kansas City to Salina, that's a couple-hour drive. I mean, to get there at 8 o'clock class, they got a hotel the night before. I mean, there is a lot more. And so we're just kind of spoiled when we have our local.
Right. Or the other thing is, like I've been telling folks, they should request training at their own brokerage. Like instructors can travel. So that may make it even better experience for agents if you live way out.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing to wrap up today's topic, we've talked about the Proctor certification, the NAR certification. How many hours in the state of Kansas do you need for CE credit hours?
12.
Oh, I was right. I wrote it down. 12.
Yeah.
4 mandatory. 6 mandatory.
And you also need 12 for Missouri.
So 12 for Missouri, 12 for Kansas, and you have 2 years to take that.
Yes. Now, 2018, mark your calendar.
2018. Oh, yeah. I know what's coming up in 2018.
What's coming up, Christy?
My birthday. No. In 2018, we're having the
really,
cruise.
Christy?
Yeah.
Really?
I know. It's just being me. We're having the cruise, right?
That's right.
Where are we cruising to?
We haven't selected the locations just yet, but it will be a CE cruise. So
tell me more,
realtors will
Tamika.
be able to get all of their CE education for their 2-year period on the cruise.
The whole entire cruise will take me for the 2 years?
Yes.
Nice. Yes. While we look at the beach and stay at the beach.
And I can teach on the beach.
And teach on the beach. That would be awesome.
Isn't it?
We're in Jamaica and we're going to dock. And come with me. We're going to go teach. That would be fantastic.
So more like while we're at sea, traveling from one place to the next.
Sure.
We can get our CE in there.
I figured as much.
Yeah. So look at that. Fun and training all in one loop.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what I'm all about.
Can we post that? When are we going to have details on the 2018?
Soon we're securing the
Are we still looking for sponsors
right now.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. We're always looking for sponsors.
That's right. Thank you for picking up what I laid down, because I was laying that down so you could say, hey, and if you'd like to sponsor our cruise or any of our shows, we welcome your sponsorship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Okay. Great show.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a good show.
Yeah.
Do we miss anything?
You are Christy Porter. I'm Tamika Bryant.
No, not the closing.
Oh,
but
okay.
Was there anything before that we missed? I really wanted to talk about the hours that you needed. And every 2 years, you have to get the 12
That's
hours
what you need
in.
for your continuing ed.
Right.
And if you want to be a real estate agent, then for Missouri, you have to do 48 hours of pre-license.
Right.
And then 24 hours of post.
Right.
And Kansas is 30 hours of pre and 30 hours of post.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting ready to shut down, I think, if we don't hurry up and close this up, because Mary's doing the thing with her hand. I know. She's like,
goodbye.
And we're out. All right. It's been a great show.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We'll catch you next week. You've been listening to Tamika Bryant and Christy Porter on Real Estate Matters and on TV25 with Smart Companies Thinking Bigger Radio at blogtalkradio.com. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.